Okay, welcome to the Guitar Show. This is Coffee Chat number 15, I think. Great to see you guys. Thanks a lot for all your amazing comments. We've had loads of new subscribers, mainly because of this new videos we've been doing about like Jimi Hendrix and Eric Clapton and their gear. So if you've got any suggestions for other grades of guitar you'd like me to check out, you know, I will do so. And also I'm going to be doing George Harrison, Steve Ray Vaughan, and I'm going to do one of my personal favourites, Ritchie Valens. So a few coming up. Also we've got to do some Clapton, I think part 3 and Hendrix part 2. So lots of videos coming to you very soon. So thanks again, keep the comments coming, that's fantastic. And also what we're going to talk briefly about is, there was a video, some guy posted a video about Dave Gilmour, and it had the title, "Is the End Nearing?" Because David Gilmour is actually selling off a lot of his guitar equipment. And basically I think, you know, when anybody does like a good deed, you know, people are always thinking, reading something into it, you know, and it's not the case with David Gilmour. He's just a really cool guy. And, you know, he's probably, like all of us, we hoard gear, you know. We collect guitars, and eventually we're tied to our gear, you know. We become, you know, it's like the Egyptians and the pyramid, you know, they want to take the, you know, you can't take your gear with you, we're mortal. But at the same time, David Gilmour wants to like help people, you know, using via his charity. So I don't think there's nothing to read into it. He's in fine health, there's no problem with him, and he's just being, you know, just being honest with himself and thinking, you know, do I really need this equipment? Do I really need these old guitars? I know it's very sentimental, you know, but I mean, how many guitars can you play at once? You can only play one guitar out at once, you know, so that's his thinking. And I've got this information through a few friends. I've got some friends here in London in the music business, behind the scenes, and without mentioning any names, I've heard it on good authority that David Gilmour's perfectly fine. There's no issues there. So hopefully that's cleared that up. And also we're going to be talking today a little about acoustic guitar playing. So let me just have a swig of my coffee. That's great. Okay, so why acoustic? Acoustic for electric players. I think a lot of electric guitar players tend to just really focus on you know, your electric guitar and so forth. But you know, a lot of my practice at home I do is basically on an acoustic guitar. So if I'm running a scale, for example, E major, you know, if you have to stretch harder, the neck is wider, the strings, there's more tension. These are 12s, I play 12s strings, and you know, so it gets your technique on your left hand, it strengthens the fingers, you know. So if you're running a minor scale, A minor, you know, just really, you know, just having that technique. You don't have to do it fast, you could do it really slowly, you know, in time. It's just going to give yourself, you know, good strong hands. So when you do get on electric, you can really be toneful. And as well, you know, when you're playing lead on an acoustic, you know, everything's harder, everything's bigger, harder. So it just really gets your fingers moving. Another thing for guitars, picking strings, you know, playing finger style. So for example, you know, just really drawing these notes out, making them sound beautiful. So you don't actually need effects pedals, you know, because you're using the effect of your fingers, you know, to create that, you know. And also, you know, just being more percussive in your playing. For example, you know, you can start slapping it, and you know, I think a lot of electric players just get channeled into the electric guitar thing and really neglect this. It's another instrument in itself, but you know, they're so closely related that you really need to play both, you know, the steel strung acoustic, the electric guitar, and also the nylon, you know, the nylon as well. But let's just focus on the steel string today. One thing I love to use is a capo. Now a lot of people say to me, oh, if you use a capo that means you're not very good, because I don't need a capo, I can do it with my first finger, you know. Well, okay, that may be the case, but what I love to do is use a capo, for example, There's two reasons I like to use a capo. Say for example, if I'm singing a song here, so this is a song I wrote. You know, like, it's too low for me, so rather than change that nice kind of chord part, I can put it here. Watch the people to and fro, and it's more in my range. Also, you know, and I can keep my original kind of part, which was. It wouldn't have the same effect if I had to change the shapes. I wouldn't be able to, you know, do that. So another thing you can do as well, put the capo real high. So maybe here, maybe on the 5th fret. No, let's go to the 7th fret. Let's do this. You're going to get a different tonality. So if I'm playing something like. So it's really great for blues playing as well, if you want to, like a fingerstyle, if you don't want to rearrange a piece and keep the kind of tonality. As opposed to down here, which would be. So it's kind of sweeter sounding for me up here. So that's kind of a few reasons to use a capo as well. Okay, another recent discovery has been these Herco thumb picks, and until recently I've always struggled with thumb picks that have been too tight and just not really sort of comfortable. I'm going to put these in the description exactly what they are, because these are really fantastic. And so, you know, for finger picking, if you really want to, the reason I use a thumb pick is when I really want to draw out that bass line. So, for example, in the sort of country picking, blues picking sort of scene. And then you can start using it like a normal plectrum. So, you know, there's another thing you want to be using is you know, trying it out. If you think you can't do it, then, you know, just start toying around with it. There's a lot of players like Johnny Winter who use one throughout their career, you know. So it's a different sound, it's a little bit more brittle, you know, but it really does bring that, out that bass line, you know. Another thing it does as well is, because I tend to like to play with my thumb, the flesh of my thumb as well. Slightly different sound. But the problem is if you're doing that all night for an hour, then your thumb really starts to hurt, you know, and the skin, and you start to have thumb problems. So, as it were. So, you know, using a thumb pick is a really great thing that you need to really kind of master, I think. You know, it's Chet Atkins, obviously. Yeah, so that's that. Let's talk about slides as well. You know that I'm a big advocate of slide on this channel, and again, you don't have to tune your guitar into a slide tuning. You can play on an acoustic because the strings are quite tight, and I have low action. I love low action on an acoustic guitar, but I can still. You know, so it's easier to play the kind of lead slide, you know, and you can kind of even. So you can kind of incorporate it into your sort of your finger style. But yeah, I just think, you know, for a lot of guitar players, you know, just please buy an acoustic guitar if you don't have one. You know, forget about effects pedals and gizmos. You know, we love them, we need them, but you know, instead of buying that flanger that you're only ever going to use, you know, 1 hour in the next 3 years, why don't you buy, you know, an acoustic guitar, cheap acoustic for say £200, and really start to you know, developing these sort of fingerstyle. You know, I'll tell you a story as well. This guitar here, and I'm not trying to sell anything on this channel. You notice there's no advertising. You know, may change, but at the moment I'm doing this for free. You know, totally for free. But the thing is I was playing with an artist called Eric Bibb, great blues guy. We were touring, and I asked him, you know, what string gauge do you use? Because he just had such a nimble dexterity with his right hand. Beautiful player. You know, that song I was just playing. That's an Eric Bibb song, and he plays 13s, you know, and he has long scale. Okay, so 13s on a long scale are really hard. It's tough on the fingers. It's a hard guitar. So I said, you know, why don't you play something a little bit easier? And he's like, no, because that's where the sound is, you know. And when you're gigging a lot, you know, your hands get strong and you can cope with it. And it's just the benefits of a slightly longer scale and the 13s. It's just going to give you that tone and that resonance. But saying that, I would actually like myself, I think if you're going to do lots of ragtime, so if you're going to do sort of lots of ragtime and around here, then the short scale is the way to go. This is actually a long scale guitar, but I think if I'm actually talking to the maker of this guitar, which is Filed Guitars here in the UK, and I'm going to maybe purchase a short scale version of this guitar, this very guitar, because you know it's a different feel. The strings are slightly looser, and sometimes you just want an easier guitar to play, you know. But if you really want the tone, you know, this is the longer scale acoustics are the way to go. Also, nut width, I like a wider nut width, but the neck is slightly thinner. So rather than having a big chunky neck and then a really, you know, wide guitar nut, I think it's better to have slightly thinner neck and a wider nut, and then it's more easy to play, you know. But definitely the wider nut is for me. I prefer. I can put the dimensions in the comments, but yeah, let me know what you think about playing acoustic guitar. I think if you're an electric guitar player, get an acoustic. You know, instead of buying that flanger pedal or whatever, you know, buy yourself a cheap acoustic. You know, play, sing. You know, sing to the dog, sing to the cat, and strum some chords. You know, a really great thing is what I do is I love the Beatles, and I love strumming Beatles chords. You know, whether it be I once had a girl, what should I say? She once had me. She knew her room, wasn't it good? Norwegian girls. You know, strumming some chords, singing a song is, you know, it's the best thing you can do really on guitar for me. So I hope that's going to give you some inspiration to pick up the acoustic guitar. You know, play some blues, play some bossa nova. You know. Play whatever you got to play, but you know, get the fingers working, sing some music, sing to the dog and the cat, and you know, just get playing. And then when you come back to the electric guitar, you're going to be stronger. You're going to have a better sense of musicality. You're going to be picking, you know, beautiful chords. You know, letting the guitar breathe, and just everything's going to get better and bigger and nicer. So you know, make the acoustic guitar a really big part of your sort of playing life, you know. Okay, this is Roman signing out. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe, and we're going to be back with some more guitar greats gear videos very, very soon. Take care. Bye.